Frida Mutea was in a dilemma when her 3 months maternity leave came to an end. She had been breastfeeding her newborn baby exclusively and was now torn between introducing formula milk before the recommended 6 months or quitting her job to stay home and ensure her daughter Shani continued to enjoy the best start in life. In the end, she decided to keep her job. Fortunately for Frida, her employer, the International Medical Corps, had realized the need for a facility where breastfeeding mothers could pump and store their breast milk or even bring along their children. This was a joy for Frida and little Shani.
My worries were at least reduced because of this facility here, so at least now I'll still be able to express the milk. I normally express like twice in a day. Like 11, I get to the office at 9, and in 2 hours time, like 11:30, I express the milk, and then at 2 again I express the milk, and I'm ready to go home anytime from 4.
Like Frida, a lot of women feel the pressure of returning to work when the baby is still fragile. As a result, they are forced to give up exclusive breastfeeding, depriving their children of the nutrition that is critical to their proper growth and development. This year, the World Breastfeeding Week focuses on breastfeeding and work, under the slogan, "Let's make it work." It highlights the critical importance of promoting breastfeeding in the workplace. Breast milk acts as the baby's first immunization, providing protective antibodies and growth factors.
Exclusive breastfeeding is whereby a child is born to a mother and that child is fed exclusively on breast milk without giving any other thing from the day the child is born up to the time the child reaches 6 months. And after 6 months, children are supposed to be complemented with other foods in addition to breastfeeding.
In Kenya, some formal and informal workplaces have also established these mother-friendly facilities and policies to empower and support working mothers to be productive at work and at home. However, many mothers still face challenges in combining breastfeeding and work due to lack of adequate support. Governments, employers, co-workers, and communities can all play a role in creating an enabling environment for mothers. Mothers, too, can champion the rights of their children to exclusively breastfeed.
I got the baby, and it was an opportunity of my colleagues in the department to visit me. And amongst the people who were visiting was the operations director. You know, we've got our own cultural beliefs, taboos around that, but I said I needed to pass a point. So I was very comfortable. I removed my breast and I expressed the milk as it's done. I labeled it and put it in the freezer. And I told the operations director, "Sir, this is what I'll be doing at my desk when I come back to office until you give us a room. If you are saying that we are child-focused and we have to see our children, their preventable deaths and the interventions we can do, we want to see our children well-nourished, educated for life, protected. How is that possible if we don't start it by doing the good nurture?"
Children who are exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months of life are 14 times more likely to survive than children who are not breastfed. In fact, the 2014 Kenya Demographic Health Survey indicates that as exclusive breastfeeding rates increased over the years, child mortality rates have in turn reduced. UNICEF and the Ministry of Health are working together to ensure the workforce recognizes the life-saving benefits of promoting, supporting, and protecting exclusive breastfeeding for employees.
One of UNICEF's major focus is to increase breastfeeding, and the reason why this is important is we know that it has a very strong impact on reducing child mortality, and in fact a lot of research from around the world and reported in the Lancet series has shown that we can reduce up to 20% of under 5 mortality if we promote exclusive breastfeeding up to 6 months and if we support appropriate complementary feeding. So the great thing is we do have best practice examples, but it's not at scale. Now this year's focus and theme for World Breastfeeding Week is making that workplace support work for breastfeeding mothers. So what we're trying to do here in Kenya is get that message out that it's possible.
Central to attaining exclusive breastfeeding is maternity protection. The Kenya Employment Act stipulates that employees are entitled to a minimum of 14 weeks of paid maternity leave and 2 weeks paid paternity leave. Companies and organizations have incorporated this in their policies, while others are going the extra mile to improve on the policy.
Safaricom feels that having working mothers, they should not struggle after getting their babies. So having these facilities in place increased the staff motivation, and also staff engagement went high, which leads to high productivity, and the company was actually able to achieve its goals.
Baby Creche is a facility that offers support to working parents, providing time, space and information for breastfeeding mothers. In this child-friendly space, working mothers gather to not only express their milk, but also share their experiences in motherhood and support each other. The creche also enables parents to bring their children to work, as it is equipped with facilities for them to play, eat and sleep. Professional nannies are at hand to take care of the children so that parents can work without any worries.
As a mother, after you've had your child, you've been with your child at home 4 months, your biggest fear is that when you come to work, how are you going to get that most important milk to your child, you know? And then the bond between you and your child, is it going to be affected? Am I going to concentrate at work? Is my child going to be okay at home? So those are the fears that I had in my head when I was coming back to work. But the facilities here are great. I get to come to work with my child most of the times, yeah. So she's in close proximity with me.
Employers that support exclusive breastfeeding have noted reduced absenteeism, as working mothers who breastfeed tend to take less time off because their children are less likely to be sick. There is also an increase in investment and productivity, with long-term healthcare cost savings. In the long run, these organizations contribute to a smarter and healthier future workforce.
Surprisingly, it gives you some peace of mind, you know, because then you know your baby the following day will have some milk, or the next few days you will have some food. So you don't have to worry about it at all. And in terms of productivity, you find because of that peace of mind, you're actually more productive.
As part of the staff wellness program, Kenya Red Cross has an initiative to support working mothers with young babies to be able to take time off to express breast milk. Personally, this room came in very handy for me because I was able to take time out during the day to come and express, and I was able to build up stock, which enabled me then fulfill the 6 months period of exclusive breastfeeding.
Oserian Development Company in Naivasha has found that investing in breastfeeding mothers means less Medicare and more work output. They too have a fully functional creche built in 2004 with trained nannies, a nutritionist and a registered nurse who oversees the health of the children.
The company has set a policy on breastfeeding that mothers who are having babies who are breastfeeding, then they are supposed not to work very far away from the creche, because Oserian is a very expensive farm stretching up to 10 kilometers away from the creche. So those mothers are either put at the pack house or in greenhouses that are next to the creche. And the company allows them 1 hour paid time to come and breastfeed their babies at the creche.
So this place has been so good for me. They have advised me on the way to breastfeed, how to hold the baby at the best position. And when the child is very sick or not feeling well and they find out that he needs immediate attention, they take the child to the dispensary.
As the world marks the World Breastfeeding Week, employers need to recognize the intrinsic benefits of exclusive breastfeeding. Organizations that champion maternal protection and breastfeeding at workplaces eventually build and empower their workforce for greater returns. More importantly, they provide every child a better and fairer chance to survive and thrive.
We are ambassadors of exclusive breastfeeding. Breastfeeding at work works. Let's make it work.